Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. My fellow Ugandans, I'm happy to be back to again talk about issues which I find is very important for the good of our future and the future of the people of Africa. My voice may not be very clear because of some cold which I'm having. But I would like to say something very briefly about the demise of the former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Odinga Amolo, who, according to report that we got, that passed away in India. May his soul rest in peace. But there is something I want to say which many people are not seeing now. The demise of Raila Odinga Amolo in India is an indictment on us as Africans and on our leaders. It shows clearly that we cannot manage anything for the betterment of our people or benefits of our people as citizens and the continent. If I focus my attention on Uganda, when the British left, they left us with roads, good roads. They left us with railway line, which they used the Indians, coolies, to build from Mombasa to Nairobi to the border of Kenya and I think up to Uganda, which was functioning. At least they left us with schools, with functioning hospitals, good schools, good agricultural system, even though our people were complaining that it was blacks were not participating and the rest of it. But after independence, they handed over all these things to us, that here now you manage these things for yourself. But now 63 years down the road, how are things in Uganda? Ugandans are poor. Ugandans cannot afford treatment. People resort to traditional medicine. Public hospitals are dead. Private hospitals where they make money are very high. And yet the British, when they came, they built public hospitals, they built public schools, and those ones have been run down by our leaders, the black Africans. They have put in place private hospitals where their cronies make money. Public transport is gone in Uganda. Only private transport companies, those who are connected to the government or those who are in government, are the one buying lorries and trailers and the rest to transport people's goods, where they pay expensively. And yet there was a Uganda railway, which it was East African Railway, that could travel from Mombasa into Uganda to Kasese. Then when UPC came in, they extended the border, the railway, I think, to Pakwach. And there was East African Airline, which was traveling between Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania. So when Amin came, that the East African community collapsed, and then Uganda Airline came in, Uganda Railways came in, which was East African Railway. But there was Uganda Transport Company Union, public transport for the people, for the ordinary citizen. It was there. All that disappeared. there was banks for the citizens of Uganda owned by Ugandans, Uganda Commercial Bank, which was established by the UPC, Uganda Cooperative Bank for Farmers. All this went away because of leaders who are Africans. Now, it is very painful to learn that Raila Odinga went to India, and yet we, the citizens of Uganda, we thought Kenya had the best healthcare system, where many Ugandans would go there to get treatment. Everybody admire how Kenya have maintained their hospitals right from independence until now. But for Raila Odinga to travel to India and die in India and come back, it is an indictment on the leader of Kenya and Kenyans, as well as the leaders in Uganda and other African countries where leaders are just squandering money and not caring about the citizen. And yet these leaders, when you ask them, they will say, we are here for the citizen, we have fought so hard, we want every good life for the citizen, we want to change their life from poverty to riches. But hospital crumbles when you see schools, the standard deteriorate and crumbles when they are there eating. So what is it that we as Africans can do which shows that we are actually capable? What? Go to Uganda, agriculture is totally destroyed, because one time I saw where somebody was putting a stone in a sack and then pouring beans in that sack and selling it. Something that has never happened even under Idi Amin. It would never happen. But it has happened under this current government, which everybody prays that it is the best government. During the time of colonialism, we could blame them up, but there was freedom. Today, Ugandans have to fight for their freedom. The regime does not allow people to move freely. In the north, the so-called Balalus who came from Tanzania, from Rwanda, from Burundi, and from Congo, they are fighting over land in northern Uganda with the Ugandan citizens. They are taking land. The military under this Museveni's regime are grabbing land in northern Uganda. This is how we Africans have failed to manage things for the benefit of the poor people. Because if I don't speak your language, it doesn't mean I'm your enemy. You should not come and grab things from me. But this is the mentality of African leaders. The moment you are not their tribes, you become an enemy and you become the problem of the country. The way the North, throughout Museveni's stay in power, the North has always been the problem of Museveni's government. They don't want them. They are enemies of Museveni's government. During the time of the colonialism, I'm not a historian. I want historians to go and read and tell Ugandans, was there any region where the colonialists have cut off that these tribes are bad, we must punish them? I don't think so. And yet, the British never spoke any one of our language. They were only speaking their own language. But they were ruling the country as a country where people can stay together. And we stayed together under the British. It was only Buganda that was every time fighting. But the rest of the tribes were just busy doing their own thing. The death of Raila should open the eyes of the young generation to start seeing that what type of Africa do we want? What type of Uganda do we want? What type of Kenya do we want? Do we want to always fly to get treatment abroad? Do we want to every time look for going to study abroad when we can have good universities, good hospitals, good roads in our country? Why have we failed to get all these things? Why? It is because we are not serious. It is because we get swayed by the lies of our leaders very fast. We are not critical thinkers. They lie, we follow. And yet they are stealing us. And this is what is happening in Kenya. If in Kenya a political leader, somebody who is very important, go and die in India as if Kenya doesn't have hospitals, good hospitals. It is shameful. It is very painful. It shows how Africa is falling. It is painful, actually. Yes, Uganda have had a war, and then Museveni came with easy, NRA for fighting and the rest. That's why Uganda has been very unstable. But the problem of Uganda is only one thing. Kampala, the wrong capital city for Uganda, is Kampala. Because if the politics of Kampala is taken away and thrown out, Uganda would unite and build this country for the better. When I say like this, they will say, oh, you hate Baganda. I don't hate Baganda. Baganda are the one who, of course, that's problem because they don't want to stay together with Ugandans. And Ugandans are afraid to tell them that you people don't want to stay with us. That is why we are suffering. Uganda are scared. Uganda don't want to speak. Politicians are just, today, they cannot even say anything. When it comes to Museveni, nobody wants to tell Museveni that you lied, that you went in 1980, you went to the bush because the election was rigged. You never brought any evidence in court. You cannot go to the bush before going to the court. You have to go to the court first. So you lied. You are the one who killed Ugandans by using lies. Because even Semugere did not bring any evidence to show that DP won. And yet, DP was very fast in announcing their results. In which part of the world do you find that a political party announced its results? Even in America, you don't find that Democrats are announcing its results. When the Electoral Commission or US are announcing. No, it doesn't happen anywhere, only in Uganda. Where DP was now announcing, we have won, we have won, we have won. When they try to control them, oh, now UPC want to rig, UPC want to rig. And we all fell into that lies. The young generation should be very cautious because our politicians, the elders, and the highly educated are all people who are selfish. They are selfish. And this is what is killing Kenya. Because I never expected that a high-ranking politician in Kenya would go and die in a foreign land. Jomo Kenyatta died in Nairobi. Moi died in Nairobi. Then why should Oginga Adoni go and die in India? It shows the falling down of Kenya because of mismanagement by Africans. This has happened in Uganda. That's why Uganda is just painted that it is good. Uganda is not, because any country that is good, it is seen through public administration, public institutions like hospitals, public transport, and other things, everything public where the ordinary people, the poor, benefits from. That country is seen from there. If all those things are not there, that country is not a country. It's countries of robbers. The Chinese coming to put factories, or they build building, are the poor people, ordinary, deep in the village, are they benefiting from that? No, they don't. They are not. So, nobody should deceive you. We Africans have to wake up. We need to be serious. Otherwise, the death of Odinga have shown that we are unable to manage things for the good of the ordinary citizen of a country. If a high-ranking politicians go and die abroad, how many ordinary poor people are dying in their villages without being noticed by the authorities? How many of them? And who is talking about that? And yet they sing to the world that they are there for those people, the poor, the downtrodden, the hustlers. Really? Nobody should just say, oh, they can rest in peace, and then you go and sit and you relax. Think. Why should he die in India? No Indian Prime Minister would come and die in any hospital in Africa. It is we Africans who want to go and die in foreign countries' hospital. We, especially the leaders, which is a shame. I say this for God and my country. Thank you.